Imagine your heart beating as an ocean of rhythmic waves, each pulse shaped by what you eat. Salmon enters this picture not as ordinary food, but as a messenger of balance. Its omega-3 fatty acids slip into your cell membranes, softening chronic inflammation that creeps in with age, supporting smoother circulation, steadier heart rhythms, and clearer thinking. In this sense, eating salmon becomes a conversation with your own physiology, a reminder that strength after 60 is not brute force, but intelligent harmony. What if I told you that the way you age is being written right now in every single cell of your body? Let that thought hover in the air like a slow, deliberate breath, because it carries more truth than we usually allow ourselves to feel. Aging is not simply a timeline marked by birthdays, nor is it a mechanical decline of parts wearing out. It is a living, breathing dialogue between your biology and your daily choices. A microscopic conversation happening in your blood, your brain, your muscles, and your immune system. After 60, this dialogue becomes more refined, more responsive, and strangely more intelligent, as your body learns to prioritize protection over speed, preservation over excess, and balance over intensity. Inside each of your cells, tiny structures called mitochondria are still generating energy, still responding to nutrients, still adapting to signals from your environment. When you consume foods rich in protective compounds, you are not just eating. You are sending biochemical messages that influence how these cells repair themselves, how they handle stress, and how gracefully they navigate the passage of time. Wild blueberries enter this process like a quiet but powerful presence, their deep indigo skin carrying anthocyanins that act as shields against oxidative damage, the subtle form of cellular wear that accumulates with age. As these compounds travel through your bloodstream, they interact with your neurons, supporting the delicate connections that hold your memories, your focus, and your sense of self. Think of your brain not as a static organ, but as a landscape constantly reshaping itself. Each nutrient you provide can either nourish that landscape or leave it vulnerable to erosion. Blueberries, in this sense, are like gentle rain, nourishing neural pathways and keeping them flexible, resilient, and capable of learning. They remind your brain that curiosity does not have to fade with age, that clarity can deepen rather than diminish, and that wisdom is built through both experience and biological care. At the same time, this is not just about the brain alone, but about the whole body working in quiet synchrony. The antioxidants in blueberries support your heart by reducing inflammation, help your immune system by lowering cellular stress, and assist your metabolism in maintaining balance. Eating them becomes an act of quiet reverence for your own biology, a small but meaningful ritual of self-respect that acknowledges your body's remarkable capacity to heal, adapt, and continue evolving long after 60. Imagine your heart not as a pump made of metal, but as a living ocean of rhythm, rising and falling with every moment of your life. Each beat is shaped by the chemistry in your blood, the flexibility of your arteries, and the level of inflammation moving silently through your body. After 60, this rhythm becomes even more precious because your cardiovascular system has carried decades of memories, stress, movement, and emotion. Salmon enters this picture not as an ordinary meal, but as a quiet biological ally speaking directly to your cells in the language of omega-3 fatty acids. When you consume salmon, these fats do not simply get burned for energy. They travel through your bloodstream and integrate into the very membranes of your cells, making them more fluid, more adaptable, and more resilient. This fluidity allows signals to move more smoothly between cells, supporting better communication in your heart, your brain, and your immune system. At the same time, omega-3s work to calm chronic inflammation, that low-grade, persistent irritation that often increases with age and contributes to stiff joints, sluggish circulation, and mental fog. In reducing this inflammation, salmon helps your body feel less burdened, less constrained, and more at ease in its own aging process. Picture your arteries like gentle rivers rather than rigid pipes. Over time, stress, poor diet, and inactivity can make these rivers more turbulent. The nutrients in salmon help smooth that flow, supporting healthier blood pressure, steadier heart rhythms, and more efficient delivery of oxygen to your tissues. This is why eating salmon after 60 is not just about physical strength, but about preserving the elegance of your internal systems, allowing your body to move with greater ease and harmony. Beyond the heart, these same fats nurture your brain, where they support the maintenance of neural connections that shape memory, attention, and emotional balance. They help your mind remain clear rather than cluttered, reflective rather than reactive. In this way, salmon becomes a bridge between body and consciousness, reminding you that what you eat does not merely sustain life, but subtly shapes how you experience it. When you sit down to eat salmon, you are participating in a larger biological story, one in which aging is not a battle against decline, but a process of intelligent adaptation, guided by nourishment, balance, and respect for the intricate systems that continue to carry you forward after 60. Shift your awareness inward, beneath your lungs and behind your stomach, into the vast, hidden world of your gut, a living ecosystem so complex that scientists now describe it as an organ in its own right. Trillions of microorganisms reside there, forming an intricate community that communicates constantly with your immune system, your brain, and your metabolism. After 60, this inner world becomes even more influential, because aging naturally alters digestion, nutrient absorption, and immune responsiveness. What you feed this ecosystem determines whether it becomes a source of vitality or a quiet source of imbalance. Fermented foods such as yogurt, kefir, kimchi, or naturally cultured curd enter this system not as passive nourishment, but as living carriers of beneficial bacteria. These microorganisms do not simply pass through your body, they interact with your intestinal lining, strengthen its barrier, and help regulate how your immune system responds to threats. When this balance is maintained, your body becomes better at distinguishing between real dangers and harmless substances, reducing unnecessary inflammation that so often accompanies aging. Your gut and your brain are connected through a continuous two-way communication system known as the gut-brain axis. This means that the health of your digestion subtly shapes your mood, your clarity of thought, and even your emotional resilience. By nurturing your gut with fermented foods, you are indirectly supporting mental steadiness, sharper focus, and a calmer emotional state. It is as if every spoonful sends a quiet message upward, reminding your brain that your internal environment is stable and cared for. Digestion itself becomes gentler and more efficient when your gut flora is balanced. Nutrients from other foods, proteins, vitamins, minerals, are absorbed more effectively, giving your body greater access to the building blocks it needs for muscle maintenance, bone strength, and cellular repair. In later life, this improved absorption can make the difference between feeling fatigued and feeling steadily energized. There is also a deeper, almost philosophical dimension to this process. As you age, you begin to recognize that strength is not only muscular or visible, it is also internal, subtle, and systemic. Tending to your gut with fermented foods is an act of patience and respect for your body's hidden intelligence, acknowledging that true health arises from harmony among countless unseen processes working together in delicate balance. Feel the pulse of life moving through your veins, the silent rivers that carry oxygen, nutrients, and energy to every corner of your body. After 60, these rivers are more fragile, more susceptible to turbulence caused by years of stress, diet, and environmental factors. Your blood vessels, once elastic and resilient, begin to stiffen, and your muscles may feel the subtle drag of less efficient circulation. In this delicate stage, leafy greens like spinach, kale, and Swiss chard emerge not merely as food, but as gentle maintenance for the very infrastructure of your body, supporting circulation, muscle function, and overall vitality. These greens are dense with minerals like magnesium and potassium, compounds that help regulate muscle contraction, nerve signaling, and blood pressure. When you consume them, these nutrients flow into your system, interacting with your cells and supporting smoother communication across tissues. Magnesium, for example, plays a quiet but crucial role in keeping your heart rhythm steady, your arteries flexible, and your muscles ready to respond to movement. Nitrates found naturally in leafy greens convert into compounds that dilate blood vessels, improving oxygen delivery and promoting endurance at a time when energy may feel harder to sustain. Beyond the minerals, leafy greens contain phytonutrients, molecules that act as subtle regulators within your body. They modulate inflammation, protect cells from oxidative stress, and support the function of your immune system. These are the hidden advantages of eating greens, effects that unfold over time, quietly reinforcing the systems that keep you steady on your feet, clear in your mind, and alert in your senses. There is also a rhythm to the act of eating greens, a mindfulness that resonates with the natural cycles of your body. Chewing slowly, tasting the earthy flavor, and noticing the color and texture engages your senses and your consciousness in a gentle acknowledgement of nourishment. This interplay between body and mind strengthens your awareness of internal signals, allowing you to respond more intuitively to your energy levels, stress, and mobility. In this way, leafy greens become more than vegetables. They are instruments of preservation, supporting not just your heart and muscles, but the harmony of your entire system. Each bite is a quiet dialogue with your body, a deliberate act of care that respects the subtle, intricate processes that allow you to move, think, and live fully after 60, reminding you that vitality is woven through both physical nourishment and conscious attention to your own well-being. Turn your attention to the remarkable organ that defines much of who you are, your brain, the seat of memory, emotion, creativity, and identity. After 60, it continues to change, adapt, and respond to the choices you make, quietly reshaping itself in ways that can either support clarity or invite decline. Nutrition plays a subtle but powerful role in this ongoing process, and among the foods that offer extraordinary support, walnuts stand out for their richness and complexity. Their unique shape, with folds and creases resembling the human brain, is almost symbolic of the intricate work they perform within your neural networks, providing fats, antioxidants, and micronutrients that help preserve communication between cells. Walnuts are densely packed with omega-3 fatty acids, a critical building block for neuronal membranes that allows signals to pass efficiently across synapses. These fats are not fleeting. They integrate into the structure of your brain cells, enhancing flexibility, responsiveness, and resilience against the cumulative stress of decades. As neurons communicate more effectively, memory retrieval, focus, and processing speed are subtly reinforced. Alongside this, the antioxidants in walnuts counteract oxidative stress, the slow accumulation of cellular damage that contributes to cognitive decline, helping to maintain clarity and mental energy even as other systems age. Eating walnuts is more than feeding your brain. It is nurturing the dialogue between mind and body. The brain depends not only on nutrients, but also on the environment those nutrients create, reducing inflammation, supporting circulation, and influencing mood. Each handful of walnuts introduces compounds that support neuroplasticity, the brain's remarkable ability to reorganize itself, form new connections, and adapt to changing demands. This is particularly important after 60, when life experiences are deep, memories are rich, and the ability to integrate new learning continues to define quality of life. There is also a contemplative dimension to this practice, a sense of reverence in mindful consumption. Holding the walnuts, noticing their texture and taste, is an acknowledgement that nourishment is not merely mechanical, but an interaction with your own longevity. These simple seeds become ambassadors for ongoing health, a bridge between conscious intention and biological resilience, reminding you that your mind, like the rest of your body, thrives when fed with care, consistency, and respect, and that the process of aging can be an opportunity for growth, clarity, and continued engagement with life.